Adventures of Wally Wombat, written by Maureen Burris and illustrated by Justin Rogers. Wally is a teenage wombat who lives in Australia in a big burrow near a bush-lined creek. He lives with his mother and father and little sister Wilma. Wally has brown hair that feels like the hair of a dog. He has 4 short, stubby legs with strong claws on his front paws for digging. He is really curious about the bush around his home, but his mother has told him he and Wilma must not go far from home, as it is too dangerous to be out in the big wide world on their own. It's evening, and Wally is sitting in front of the burrow listening to Mr. Kookaburra's loud laughter coming from a nearby gum tree. He wonders what is making Mr. Kookaburra so happy. Wally is so curious he forgets his mother's warning and trots off toward the sound of the laughter as fast as his stubby legs will carry him. My, what wonderful sights! What interesting folk he meets! This is a perfect time of day to be out and about. Many others are coming out too. Mrs. Kangaroo and her friend bring their 2 joeys to drink at the creek. Wally stops to say hello to the biggest joey, Kelly, who tells him they've come in from the great open plain where they live with a big kangaroo family called a mob. Mrs. Kangaroo tells Kelly to jump into her pouch for the ride home. He waves goodbye as they bounce away. Wally waves back and wanders off. For a moment he is sure he sees Priscilla Platypus in the dark creek water. She is very shy and never comes near other animals. Priscilla is a strange-looking creature with a duck bill and webbed feet, but has a lovely soft furry body. Wally is so interested in finding Mr. Kookaburra that he doesn't notice that he's getting too far from home. He loves all the exciting smells and sounds of the evening. Wombats don't see very well, which doesn't matter because they hunt for food in the early evening and night, and they can smell really well. What are you doing so far from home? Wally jumps at the sound of the voice and is about to scurry home when he sees Koki Koala sitting in the fork of a branch of a blue gum tree. You scared me, puffs Wally. He doesn't take much notice of Koki's question and soon leaves the creek behind as he goes exploring with his nose near to the ground, trying to guess who belongs to each wonderful smell. Wally wonders why the yellow-crested cockatoos perched in a tree are screeching so loudly. Even though they are making such a din, he can hear the tinkling song of a bellbird. Wham! Wally doesn't know what's happening. He's scooped up by a monster who shoves him into a bag. It's very dark in the bag and Wally is very frightened. Soon he realizes he's been captured by a man riding a horse and is being carried off. It's a bumpy ride. Wally is really scared and worried. Where is the man taking me? He wishes he hadn't disobeyed his parents' warning. Now he knows they were only trying to keep him and Wilma safe, and he is so sorry that he was disobedient. Wally wonders what they are doing at home and if they have missed him yet. His little heart goes thump, thump, thump. At last the bouncing stops, and Wally holds his breath as he waits to see what will happen. Suddenly he is tipped out of the bag and thud. He lands on the grass, and something very hard closes over him. Wally knows if the man leaves him alone, he'll be able to use his sharp claws to burrow his way out. Wally doesn't know that he's under an old tin tub. Soon he hears the chattering voices of children. Mark and Mary are 10-year-old twins who live with their mother and father and brother and sister on a farm. Wally's home by the creek is also on the farm. Their dad wants them to guess what's under the tub and says he'll give them $5 if they can guess correctly. Even though he gives them many clues, they cannot guess what's under the tub. At last their father lifts the tub, and there sits Wally feeling very frightened indeed. Mark and Mary are so excited they jump up and down shouting, "Can we keep him?" "Oh, Daddy, let us keep him." "Shh," says Dad. "The poor little fellow is very frightened, and you'll scare him even more." The children settle down, and their father says he is sorry, but no, they cannot keep the little wombat. He just brought him home so they could see close up what a wombat looked like. "The little fellow has a mother down by the creek," says Dad. "He probably wandered off to explore, and his mother must be frantic with worry. Don't you think he should go home?" Disappointed, Mark and Mary agree they cannot keep Wally. They know how much they would miss their family if they were taken away. So they say goodbye to Wally and watch as their father puts him back in the bag. Wally is in the dark again, not sure what is happening, but he can feel the bumping of the trotting horse. Soon they stop, and the man tips Wally out of the bag. He shakes his head and takes a big sniff and scampers off into the bush. Wally doesn't go far. His nose goes up and he sniffs the air. "This is very close to home," he thinks excitedly. "If I can find my home, I'll never go off on my own again." Suddenly Wally bumps into someone. It's his mother out searching for him. "Walter," she says, "where have you been? We've been so worried about you, especially when we smelled the horse nearby." "Oh, Mother," Wally pants. "I'm so glad to see you, and I'm so happy to be home and safe. I've had such an adventure. I'll tell you all about it after supper." The end. This story is dedicated to my grandchildren and great-grandchildren and is based on a true story. One day, my brother Lynn and I came home from school, and Dad had an upside-down tub on the back lawn. He told us if we could guess what was in it, he would give us £1 in Australian money. Even though we tried and tried, we weren't able to guess what was under the tub. He gave us lots of clues, but we didn't know what it was. Dad had just brought him home so we could see what a little wombat looked like.